Colonel Cliff Soreen. I'm here to talk about Project Censored. It's a big topic. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to, the main point about Project Censored, it has to do with the fact that on planet Earth, everything that you say gets looked at to see if you've copied somebody else's stuff. Because if somebody else on the planet said what you have said, you can't say it unless you say, oh, so-and-so said it first. And even if you give them credit, so for the best example is music, okay? Music. If you want to use a background music, you got an old record collection and you bought records, you bought and paid for them, and you put them on the old turntable and you're playing it, and then you turn on your smartphone like I'm doing right now, and you start to do a little talk. Well, and then you go and post your video on YouTube. YouTube has got artificial intelligence. They're robots that listen to your video. And if they hear something from your record that you bought and paid for, they're going to go, no. We're not going to allow your video on YouTube because the person whose music is playing in the background has a copyright on it and you can't use it. You can't have it in the background, even though it's a normal thing in your house to play a record that you bought and paid for. This record company has got some deal with YouTube and it's going to listen in, and lo and behold, I'm sorry, I heard background music. Doesn't matter if it was on the radio or on a record player or on a CD or cassette, or it was another YouTube, or it was a Spotify. Doesn't matter. You can't use it. So we're going to censor what your video is because it's got something in the background. This is Project Censored Part 1, and it gets right to the heart of the problem. The heart of the problem, it's the old systems of control on planet Earth. Control. They want to control you. How do they do it? I was going to swear. It was the F word, and it had to do with attorneys and lawyers and solicitors. It has to do with man's law, which has nothing to do about serving man in the general population. It has everything to do with old fat controllers controlling everything. All right. Now, the heart of the issue, if I created this song, shouldn't I be able to copyright it? No, you didn't create the song. It gets back to your brain. Your brain doesn't create. It's basically like a radio, attuned to frequencies. And what comes into your brain gets translated by your brain. Maybe you got a tune. A tune came to you and you jotted it down on paper. You start to hum it or something, and then you got the vibe and you figured out how to go and play it on a guitar or on a keyboard, and then you did that. Well, it didn't come from you. It came from the source fields, okay? Source fields, not you. You are simply a radio receiver and you receive this information. Now, in the old school way of looking at that, you say, well, it's mine. No. If you've got a regular radio and you tune it in to 99.9 on your dial, and assuming there's a radio station there in your community, and you're listening, and you get some news or something, do you go and copyright? Oh, I got to copyright that because I just heard it in my ear. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. 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 It's like a bunch of seagulls going mine. 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 That's what your brain is like. And you're going to copyright that because you got a signal from the source fields? But this is what those stupid effing attorneys, stupid effing legal system that we're stuck with, that we're born into on planet Earth, it's what it's all about. And it's what they teach you. You know, you sit there and you're going to go in seventh grade and you're going to sit there in English class and you're going to write a story. Well, what's happening? They said, well, you're cooking it up in your brain. No, you're not. It's wrong. It's wrong science. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're attuning yourself. You're putting yourself in a quiet place and you're tuning into the source fields. What exactly are source fields? They're fields of consciousness. Who made them? God made them. So when you go and you get this stuff from the source fields and you write down, well, you know, it's mine. It's mine. No, you just stole it from God. You stole it. So all these attorneys that say, oh, you can't steal anything, these effing people, they're all thieves because they stole it. What is the purpose of you getting the information for making a song or a story? It's to share it with other beings. Share. Share, 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 share. It's not for you to go, mine, 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 mine. I'm sorry if you're a seagull. All right, so that's the first thing. So Project Censored is about all these, not even real people, it's artificial bots that go and listen to everything that's recorded. They listen on your smartphone when you're not even recording on it. They listen constantly to you. It's Orwell, George Orwell. He wrote these books way back, I think it was like around World War II. About how the world was becoming more and more Big Brother. You've got attorneys and you've got a bunch of, in East Germany they were called Stasi. It was the secret police of East Germany. They were a dictatorship. They called themselves communists, but they were just dictatorship. And there was all these people who were on the government payroll and their only job was to spy on other people. The KGB in Russia, Soviet Union, secret police in the United States, it's the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, God knows how many other ones. In the Soviet Union, there was military intelligence, GRU. There's endless numbers of these secret police with only one job, spy on you. Project Censored. Project Censored also has to do with all this information I'm giving you now that was suppressed. You never heard it on NBC News. You never heard that this is what they're doing. You never heard that this smart TV right here is also listening to you. This goes back to George Orwell. George Orwell talked about how there was televisions, and the televisions were constantly monitoring what you were doing, even if it was turned off. You turn off the thing that's still got a camera and it's still got a microphone and it's always listening to you. This smartphone's the same way. Always on, always recording you, always listening in. Spyware built in. Who's listening? Well, it's not only the government, but it's corporations. And what are they listening for? So they can figure out how to sell you more shit. Project Censored. Project Censored is all the news that's unfit to print because they don't want you to know about it. What's going on off planet? Oh, there's no such thing as extraterrestrials. There's no such thing. Fermi paradox and the Dirac equation says there are extraterrestrials. Why is it covered? It's only, like fringe things, it's a fringe thing. It's never on the NBC News. It's censored on purpose. They don't want you to get out of your little box of being a corporate drone, a slave. They want you to be a slave. Why is it? Because they're greedy and they're controlling and they like to control you. Project Censored. All of the technologies that have been invented, secret patents on all this stuff. Again, patents are just like copyright. It's theft from the source fields. Theft. All kinds of research that goes on. Universities, corporations, everywhere. And everybody's got to patent their intellectual property. No, it's not your intellect that came up with this, you stupid twat. You tuned into the source field and you got something. Source field guided you to go and find this stuff, and then you put your name on it. Nobody else can have it. You're a stupid being. So stupid. You bought into the system. And you wonder why humans are always down at the bottom of the totem pole and nothing good ever happens. It's because you're part of the damn Matrix. The Matrix movies weren't a sci-fi thing that you could go to over 2 hours and, isn't that interesting? It was nothing to do with that. They're holding up a mirror and they're saying, this is your world, planet Earth. It's the Matrix. It's a documentary because you're all in on it. Project Censored is when you're on Messenger and you block people because they're irritating you, because what's happening, you've got cognitive dissonance. It's an old psychological term. You learn it in Psychology 101 at college. Cognitive dissonance. It means that you're getting some new information that's of a different vibration than all the other shit that you learned. And it's making you feel uncomfortable. What exactly is making you uncomfortable? It's the low vibration crap that you were force-fed when you were young. It's vibrating very low and it's probably down in your tummy and it's probably making you feel physically ill. Because the truth hurts. And the new information from the people you blocked, you took them off your Facebook list, you took them off, you blocked them on Messenger because they were sending you information, and the information was making your heart go flutter, flutter. And it was giving you a headache, and it was making your stomach sick, and it made you want to go for a crap. And you didn't like it. And you never stopped to think about it. Why? What is it that they said? It triggered you. It didn't trigger you. It triggered the old information that's in you. The old information is coming up to be questioned. It's coming to the surface. And lo and behold, if you were this is not an easy thing. I will tell you one thing. It is not easy to go and upset the apple cart of all the shitty information you were force-fed in the Matrix. You were force-fed it from the time you were born. Endless hours of television when you were a child. Endless hours of sitting in stupid classrooms, listening to the teacher drone on and on. You didn't want to be there. You wanted to go out and play with your friends, or you wanted to read an interesting book that you found personally interesting. Now, there are some books that I had, in some English classes that I didn't know if I was going to like or not, and I ended up looking back and saying, this teacher actually picked a decent book because I remember it and it actually was pretty good. So I'm not going to throw all of it away. But, for the most part, you know what it felt like, and if it wasn't you, maybe you were a half-decent student, but there were a lot of other children in your classroom that didn't want to be there. They had other things that they would rather do. Anyway, cognitive dissonance, it means that new information is coming in and you turned it off because you felt sick. It's incorrect thing to do. So what you need to go back is remember all the people that you blocked on Messenger and the people that you unfollowed or you unfriended on Facebook, and go back and find those people and start a conversation. And you might start off by saying, I just realized I had a major case of cognitive dissonance when I was getting information from you, sir or madame. And I really want to figure out what it is that you want to say, because whatever it is, it's got to be really good stuff, because it's triggering all the old stuff that I'm just starting to realize is garbage that I was force-fed, and I don't even know where the garbage begins and something halfway decent starts and the really good stuff starts. I don't know. But I recognize that back when I was hypnotized, I turned you off. And I decided I'm going to go and ask you, please, sir or madame, I want to hear what you have to say. And I'm going to get triggered on purpose. Triggered on purpose. I'm going to ask for the headache, ask for the heart flutterations, and ask for the sick feeling, because I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that to figure out what it's attached to in my information system, and then I'm going to drag it up from the depths, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to say, I know what it is that's vibrating and giving me heart fluctuations and sick feelings and headaches. It's this piece of information. And then I'm going to figure out, where did I get it? Did I get it from the television? Did I get it from school? Did I hear about it from my parents, my society, my friends? Where did I hear this information? And I'm going to go on an investigation like I was Vasily Fisk of Metaphysical Investigations, and I'm going to follow the line back. All the things that are attached to this piece of information that's making me sick. And then I'm going to go, what other informations were coming from these different sources at the time? And I'm going to look at all them with a squinty eye. All of this stuff I'm going to dredge up from the past, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to sort through it and see what doesn't serve me anymore. What doesn't serve me anymore? What are these unconscious programs that I was hypnotized into believing this is the way it has to be, will always be, can't be changed. Can't be changed. That's what the end of this stuff is. It's so far buried in autopilot. Autopilot is like when you're 17 years old and you learn how to drive an automobile for the first time. And you learn in the first while you got to use your whole mind to learn how to drive a car. It's not easy. You got to focus on a million different things. And then you get really good at it. Some people say, well, it's muscle memory or whatever. Whatever it is, it becomes unconscious to you. You get in the car and you can go and you can have something on your mind, a fight you had with your partner or something, and it's playing on in your mind, and you go for a drive to the store to buy some gum or something, and you get to the store and you think, geez, I got to the store and I don't even remember getting here. It's because you drove on autopilot. And it just shows you that's one program. It's a program in your system. It's unconscious, and it runs and it does something for you. And you think, well, it's wonderful. No, it's not, because you become unconscious. What's unconscious? I'm sorry if you're a rock lover, and we are rock lovers, but most people think rocks are stupid and have no power. It's not actually true, but just for the sake of argument, you're just like a rock. You're just like a rock that sits there. It's unconscious, So what you need to do is find all these programs, hypnotic marketing programs that are running behind the scenes. And they're running you. They're not serving you. They're running you like a little puppy. Okay? So now you've got something you can do. You can go and ask all the people you blocked, unblock them, send them a message, add on Facebook or, wherever these people are, drive across town to that person that you couldn't stand before because they were triggering you, because they had these people. These are the cutting edge people in your life that are telling you stuff that is so far out you had to close your eyes and shut down. It's like you had to go to sleep. It's a program in you. There's a program in you that puts you to sleep. They programmed you so if you heard new information, you would go to sleep. And then you would hate this person. It's called MK Ultra. It was devised by the governments, by the psychiatrists and psychologists that studied the human mind. How can we program you? In the UK, it's called Tavistock. There's huge organizations that have studied humans forever, and they know you inside and out, and they know how to program you, and they know when you hear a lecture like mine that you're going to shut down. It's like that switch in the back of Commander Data and Star Trek: The Next Generation, the android. He had a little switch. It would turn him off. And they built this into you. You might have already left. A lot of people might have already left at this point because I've triggered them, and they've got programs that are running inside of them that say, turn him off, turn him off, turn him off. And it's like a voice in your head that says, turn him off. Or it says, it's a silent program that makes you, oh, I'm so sleepy tired, I got to go lie down on the couch. I got to go lie down and have a sleep. It's a program. And you got to know it's a program, and it's been put into you since the time you were a little child. MK Ultra. And it's there to keep you a sheeple, a little sheep, a drone. So you won't wake up and look around and say, oh my God, I was born into a prison planet like Alex Jones says. It's all true. That's the one. That's the real one. It's going to just grab you. If you're a man, it's going to grab you by the testicles. It's going to grab you, and then you're going to get cognitive dissonance, and you're going to feel so sick you're going to want to go and barf about 12 times. Dry heaves. Because you're going to go, oh my God. Oh my God. And then you're going to barf, and then you're going to get up, have some water, and barf some more. You're going to barf and barf and barf and barf because you've ingested so much poison, toxic poison, and it came in the form of words and visions. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You're just going to puke and puke and puke. You're going to feel so dirty. You're going to feel so dirty and violated. I'm sorry. You're going to feel raped. Because that's what's happened to you. That's what happened to you. The powers that be on this planet did it to you. And you're going to feel so horrible about it. You're going to want to just puke, 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 puke. And that's how it starts. And then you might go through a whole variety of different emotions that are going to come up. You might cry. You might be depressed. You might get very angry. You might feel like apathy is like, oh my God, I can't get off the couch. How am I going to battle against this? They're too big for me. No, they're not too big for you. I'll tell you. Alex Jones said it way back when. The human spirit is more powerful than all this garbage. You can do it. You and everyone else can get up off your knees and turn around to your oppressor and say, F you! No more! I'm Colonel Cliff Soreen, Project Censored.